It's day 4 of the month of April in the year 2024. Good morning, and you are listening to the first news bulletin of the day on 3FM 92.7. This bulletin is live from our studio here at Adisawe Kanda and the numerous affiliates across the country. In Tamale, we are live on KESPI 107.1 FM around the world. We're streaming live on 3news.com. My name is Josh Quinn, and coming up this hour, government cautioned against incurring a judgment debt as President Akufo-Addo direct Volta River Authority VRA to suspend electricity export to neighboring countries.
It will be important for VRA, the Ministry of Energy, and the stakeholders to go into discussions with our neighboring countries to avoid any future judgment debt.
Also in this bulletin, anti-corruption campaigners seek further answers from government over the related contract extension for former Jerry boss Reverend Amishada Osuamwa 2 weeks after leaving office. And much later, liquefied petroleum gas marketers cry foul over MPA's $80 bottling levy, which they claim will collapse an already struggling industry. We've got details of these and many more coming up shortly. Just stay with us. Thanks for your time, and now let's settle for the details of the stories. Government has been cautioned against incurring judgment debt following President Akufo-Addo's directive to the Volta River Authority VRA to suspend electricity export to neighboring countries. The directive came in the wake of shortages in power generating, resulting in outages. The minority in Parliament believes government must approach the matter cautiously. Take a listen.
The first thing that I would suggest is that on the back of the President's directive, it will be important for VRA, the Ministry of Energy, and the stakeholders to go into discussions with our neighboring countries to avoid any future judgment debt. Over the period, we've been very professional about our agreements. We've supplied power when we have to. So that's the first thing that we have to do, to discuss with them, let them know that we're having challenges. Once these challenges are solved, definitely we'll go back to supplying full capacity as we've been doing over the period. The second thing is that the government itself must find adequate money. And it's unfortunate that the energy sector is going through what it's going through now.
And our legal practitioner and energy analyst Richmond Roxon says government must tread cautiously by engaging the country's Ghana Exports Power to before implementing the decision.
The first thing that I would suggest is that on the back of the President's directive, it will be important for VRA, the Ministry of Energy, and the stakeholders to go into discussions with our neighboring countries to avoid any future judgment debt. Over the period, we've been very professional about our agreements. We've supplied power when we have to. So that's the first thing that we have to do, to discuss with them, let them know that we're having challenges. Once these challenges are solved, definitely we'll go back to supplying full capacity as we've been doing over the period. The second thing is that the government itself must find adequate money. And it's unfortunate that the energy sector is going through what it's going through now, because between 2011, 2014, 15, the major challenge we had was generation capacity. And once you've dealt with the generation capacity, the rest is how you manage the energy sector.
Richmond Roxon is a legal practitioner and an energy analyst as well. And meanwhile, Parliament's Committee on Mines and Energy will be meeting all stakeholders in the power sector over a directive to stop exporting power to neighboring countries. Anti-corruption crusaders have descended heavily on the Ghana Revenue Authority's former boss, Reverend Dr. Amishada Osuamwa, after a leaked document shows a belated extension of his contract for leaving office. The minority had earlier raised questions about his continuous stay in office despite reaching retirement age. And co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Edem Sinano, speaking on Hot Edition, said the presidency has questions to answer.
I mean, it demonstrates serious administrative lapses. It appears to me that this contract was only executed after the parliamentary engagement, and it raises a lot of questions. Was Reverend Amishadai paid over the 2-year period? On what basis was he paid? Did he negotiate any contracts relating to GRA? Was any party to any negotiations? What are the implications of that?
And if you just tuned in, you are listening to the first news bulletin of the day on 3FM 92.7 with me, Josh Quinn. More news this morning. The controversy surrounding the increases in passport application fee will not go away anytime soon because the minority in Parliament says it will file a motion to stop the arbitrary increment. This is despite the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee and the Apia Kubi justifying the new fees. Ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, says it is a slap on the face of Ghanaians.
So when the House resumes, we will be filing a motion. I'm in touch with leadership that this passport new astronomical, obnoxious, draconian fees must be reversed. We gave the ministry a first option. It appears to me that I've heard the minister all over the place offering all kinds of weird justification. That first option was that the fees and charges, it gives you the ceiling, what you cannot go beyond. But you can use your administrative, ministerial discretion to lower the rate to be, below what Parliament has given you as a ceiling. Clearly, they want to continue to be insensitive. They don't want to listen to the plight of Ghanaians.
Okudzeto-Ablakwa is ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament. And now, Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers Association of Ghana believes the industry is under attack. Members of the association point fingers at the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, for certain policies it has introduced, the latest being the imposition of $80 on each metric ton of liquefied petroleum gas by the regulator.
I'm not too sure how this funds is going to be disbursed. And we are not too sure if it's right for NPA to even accumulate such a fund, collect levies from consumers and use that fund to support private businesses to set up bottling plants. We believe the timing is so wrong, and we will appeal to NPA to take a second look at this, withdraw those levies immediately.
Well, before we go, social media commentator and blogger Bongo Ideas has said his safety is under threat after he was picked up and allegedly assaulted. Bongo Ideas was on March 13 arrested by some men purported to be personnel from the Ghana Police Service after he made some comment deemed disparaging against President Akufo-Addo. Speaking to Captain Smart on Nyamachi on Wednesday, the blogger said he does not sleep in his home. And that's how we end the morning news. Before we go look again at our top stories, and government cautioned against incurring judgment debt as President Akufo-Addo directs Volta River Authority to suspend electricity export to neighboring countries, and anti-corruption campaigners seek further answers from government over the belated contract extension for former GRA boss Amishade Owusu-Amwa 2 weeks after leaving office. And liquefied petroleum gas marketers cry foul over NPA's $80 bottling levy, which they claim will collapse an already struggling industry. My name is Josh Quinn. For more news updates, just log on to our website. It's 3news.com. In a world where you can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. Good morning.